a new beginning. My catalog like James Earl Jones, the ever living. Imagine if I did make beats that's more for killing. Imagine if you come from the south out my city, you probably wouldn't make it. Oh yeah, really.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight we start week 11 of the NFL season with a good one here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in week 11 on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Stafford. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Well, the Rams at 4-5, a game under 500. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
7 yards there and a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Micah Parsons, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Play action. Stafford. They'll dump this off to Akers. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to him.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
So the hold on special teams backs him up all the way inside the 15 to start. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Well, this defense for the Rams, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
And some space here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
From the 9, 2nd and 5. Here's Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. McCann's kick up and good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. With some complimentary football there. One side, your defense forces the fumble, and then they drive it down the field. Now, obviously, Charles, they wanted the touchdown, but at least they were able to drive it down and get 3 out of that.
Yeah, now we'll have to see how the other sideline responds because they had plenty of time during that field goal to think about that fumble and how they were going to react. What are they going to do when they get the ball back and try and make things a little bit better for their team?
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
He's got a man, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. They'll go again here with Akers. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. That'll be caught by Kupp. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. From the 30 on second down, Stafford, and he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two connected with each other. They've got real rapport going, and right now it's paying off for big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Stafford popping this forward. It's a jet sweep. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Micah Parsons in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. And his kick is good. So that Charles a season long, and since he's a rookie, I guess we can go ahead and call it a career line, right?
Because, you know, as everyone at home was saying, okay, has to be career, right, since he's a rookie. Well done by you, but I definitely like what I've seen from him so far this year. Very distinguished college career. He's looking right at home here in the NFL.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
They're going for Howard, but the pass intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And the Rams are going to take possession of the football. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I've played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. To throw is Stafford.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. He's at the 40. 20. 10. 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick-6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford.
That's into the hands of Akers, complete.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch.
And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a 2nd one.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting him a few yards.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Arnold. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dan Arnold, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Cowboys go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And the lead is now 17-3. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 2nd and 9. Stafford. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
He's going to air one out. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Stafford. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Stafford. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Trey Hendrickson providing a little deja vu. Back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. Taken right on the 30. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Aaron Donald just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the 1st. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Prescott.
A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot, because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Prescott to throw it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, CD, that's one of those plays you put a mark by. I mean, that could be a big momentum swing here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, we may have to revisit it, right? Because if that drive ends up in the end zone, they're sitting pretty at that point. Now and score game, that has a chance to tighten up considerably.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Back to throw, Stafford. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Micah Parsons. My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It's taken to the 26. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the 2nd sentence of the coach's address?
And there's so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Meanwhile, Prescott's throw there caught by Gallup. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down. 10th carry now for Elliott. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do, and right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Prescott. In trouble, and he's taken down. Aaron Donald, his 2nd sack of the night. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach probably just looked at him and said, applaud.
44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the 1st half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Stafford's throw, it's complete into the hands of Higbee. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, But now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
21.
Stafford. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for L.A. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. He'll get this to Elliott. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Now Prescott. Right back to his running back, Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. He'll look to set up his blockers. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game. And they on Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Running a jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
Has a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Inside give to Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Prescott from the gun. Flushed out right. Over the middle, complete. That's Elliott. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. On now, Tucker McCann. This to make it a 3-score game late. McCann's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really... And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Again, it's Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Down to about the 23.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they've practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And some nice running, going to get him down close to a 1st down at the Rams 16. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use it more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead. Usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught. Take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. On the give, this is their fullback. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Out is Tucker McCann now to try the field goal. This is a 26-yard attempt. McCann's kick up and good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Elliott. is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. One man in the backfield, that's Elliott on 2nd and goal. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
One last throw here for Stanford. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half, the adjustment, whatever they did.